Hey! Hey, everybody, welcome to the Youth Ministry Garage, episode 212. And we started the show just on time. Doug Fields here. To my right, Matt McGill, ex-youth worker. To my left, Katie the Queen Edwards, and the co-host, Josh Griffin.
Hi-yo there, neighbor.
We got Matt. Here's to our team catching up. We got Matt a half hour late.
Oh.
All of us are hungry. We've got the munchies. Kathy just brought out food. All kinds of crazy things are going on. Seth, actually, he's been here almost a year. It was actually funny today.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Super funny. Brought us A-game humor-wise.
So, we got a lot of stuff happening. Big news, big announcement. Who wants to make it?
I didn't remember what the news was.
Katie looked surprised. It's the only thing we talked about before the show to see if you were going to be here that
I
weekend.
never know. Sometimes there's other surprises I don't know about yet.
Sometimes I'm getting fired again.
I was surprised Matt still has a job this week.
Here's the big announcement, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm ready.
PDYM, that's 10 years ago. Taco salad fun.
We are on the dates.
March 18th.
March 18th
19th.
and 19th. Are you positive? No, it's not March.
May.
It's May.
May.
18th and 19th.
Starts with that.
May 18th and 19th is we are doing
We're gonna hang out.
Youth Ministry Garage
Yeah.
behind the scenes deal. Now here's the deal.
Gathering.
The FAM conference
Conclave.
is
Coven.
like $199. I don't even know the price of it.
$199.
$199.
Yes.
Okay, the FAM conference, which is going to be held at Azusa Pacific University on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yep.
We,
Our
Azusa
sponsors.
Pacific.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are saying, hey, after the conference, let's hang out. So
I'm down.
you sign up for the FAM conference, and then for $19, that's all we're charging. We just made that number up.
Love it. We're gonna lose money.
$19.
$1 an hour.
We are gonna hang. No, it'd be like
Dude, that's
75 cents an hour. There's,
Oh.
yeah. We are gonna hang at.
Cheaper than
Cheap date.
Cheaper than
anything
$1
else
an
I can
hour.
think.
We're gonna hang at my house. We're gonna set up chairs in the garage.
We're gonna hang out in the
Together?
garage.
Huh?
Have a couple meals
You're gonna have to
together.
clean this garage.
I know. That's the only bummer of the whole deal.
Does the $19 include meals?
No. I think we're gonna do something in our house.
Like
we'll do
dessert or
like
pizza or
pizza or something
something?
in the house. So we're gonna shoot an episode of the garage.
Well, I could make my mother's famous lasagna.
We're gonna hang out in the house. But here's what we're doing on Saturday. We're gonna go to Saddleback. Visit junior high or high school, whatever you want. But
Both
we're gonna
ends,
hang
yeah.
out afterwards and talk about it, debrief it. Why do you do what you do? Talk youth ministry.
Yep.
If we want to then go hang out, go to the
Take it apart.
movies,
Yeah. Critique it.
Xbox with Josh, whatever. Then Sunday morning, we're gonna go to Mariners, where Matt used to work, but
Where I got fired.
I have contacts there still. But Matt built up this incredible youth ministry that we're gonna go see. We're gonna talk
it.
about that.
Love it.
Everybody didn't think it was incredible.
Well, we'll talk about that.
But you left great people behind. Who
I was
you
able to do that.
Yeah. So here,
trained and loved.
we're gonna do that, and we're gonna talk about it. Then we're gonna come over to our house, and we're gonna shoot the podcast, eat a meal together, a whole bit. It's limited to, what do we say, 50 people?
Yeah.
50 people. So go to famconference.com and sign up for the FAM conference.
Yeah, do it.
And enter in the discount code YMG.
YMG.
YMG, because it'll be, by the time you hear this, the conference will be more than $199. I'm sure the prices will have gone up.
Yep.
And it'll charge you $218, right?
Yep.
Seth?
Yeah, that can happen.
Okay. We'll figure that out. So anyway, that's the news. We've all got Saturday and Sunday blocked out.
We're gonna have fun.
I probably should ask my wife about that since we're at a conference in a few days. But you know what? No, she's at a wedding in Fresno or something like
Perfect.
that. So she'll come back Sunday to a house full of youth workers. All right.
We can hang out at my house if we go to Mariners.
Great.
All right, you have a nice house.
But we got to come over here and shoot the podcast in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
What if we did it from Matt's garage? Nope.
We wouldn't have the sponsor deals.
Yeah. Speaking of our sponsor,
Oh.
thank you, Youth Specialties, Youth Ministry 360, Azusa Pacific University,
We were talking
Leader
about that.
Treks, and Remedy Live. All right.
Okay.
I'll give one of you guys.
These nuts are?
I'll give one of you guys $5 if you can tell me what the emphasis week is at Azusa Pacific.
Brian emphasis week. Or brain.
Brain Week.
Brain Awareness Week.
Brain awareness.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like missions better.
Yeah. Well,
Brain Awareness Week?
yeah.
Or like concussions,
That's good.
brain?
I don't know. I just took a picture and then took a picture of somebody who I said was Brian, but it's not really Brian. It's Nolan Henslick.
Brian Awareness Week?
Yeah. I call it old person humor.
That's interesting. I mean, you're a dad at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, grandpa, right?
Ashley Lehman. Ashley Lehman. Hey guys, Matt, sorry your position was terminated. They definitely.
They're
why
still
do you-
saying that.
Still saying that. Send your questions to youthministrygarage.com. They definitely lost out on the future of the church.
Just go with it. Go with it.
Website. Sorry, I thought you gave the email address again. I'm just I'm not on my game right now.
Well,
Yeah, get on
apparently,
We had traffic.
We waited for
about
an hour
the ninth
for you to get
time
here,
I've drone
so-
out here this week. It's just I'm a little rattled.
thank you.
That's all I need.
Thanks for coming.
Ashley Lehman, here we go.
My name is Ashley Lehman. You know what's funny is many of the emails being sent in, people are actually now pronouncing their names.
Oh,
That's because
good.
you're a hackathon.
I know.
Oh, what?
Ashley's from Millersburg, Pennsylvania. I wanted to tell that y'all are amazing.
Oh,
Thank you.
Y'all.
Yeah.
What would your advice be if you were leading a ministry and after 2 years of leadership, you began to see things that you have failed on in the past? How do you go about making changes that may be thought of as drastic? Is it wise to make them all at once or take gradual steps to reach the wanted end result? What have you done in the past? Any advice would be appreciated.
Awesome question. I love it. I would say
change is always science and art, right?
I would say you're going to find things that you have failed on or didn't see, or things that you succeeded in really well that have then come unspun and derailed and that now feel like a failure. So if you're seeing that, that's great. You have a new perspective. It's time to address those things. Yeah. So I would say, first of all, it's normal. What you're experiencing is normal. Even good things over time can kind of lose their vision, lose some of their impact.
Sure.
Is
So
that a law of thermodynamics?
there you go.
Is it?
What can break will.
No.
Things-
Everything's always going towards
I don't know what that
breaking
Yeah.
down.
Well, I think
Where's wrong?
there's a principle of leadership. Actually, when I was at APU today, and I was talking with a youth worker there, and I said we were talking about student leadership,
Talking leadership outside the Cougar Den.
just
Outside
outside
the
the
Brain
Cougar
Week.
Den. It was Brain Week with my buddy Brian. So, but I was saying, you can get student leadership going, and then you turn your back thinking it's going,
Totally.
and you go to now work on small groups or volunteers or whatever, and then 2 years later you turn your back, or 9 months later, and you're like, wait, student leadership is broken again.
Yeah. Or the next day.
In
True.
Josh's case,
No, dude. I just fixed it. And then you're like, I fixed that last week. And it just, breaks. I would say you have to constantly be monitoring the health of your main initiatives. And if those things start to, break, however you define breaking, it's time to change.
Yeah.
It's time to change. And the change might be you engaging. That would probably be enough in some areas. And other things need to be completely overhauled.
yeah.
So,
Well,
it's...
oh,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Josh.
No.
I think change too can come. There's times of the year where change, when you're talking about when to make changes too, like once you kind of assess
Yeah.
what needs change, thinking about just those natural times in the year where change can be, sometimes it seems like a big change to you, but it's small to your congregation of students or parents because, for me, I have 2 grades. So when summer comes, it's a great time for me to make change because 50% of my group turns over and half of them, I'm only kind of acclimating half
like
of them
easy
to make
street.
change. I know, totally. Junior high, so easy.
So easy.
But I mean, there
But
are
seriously,
times.
super easy.
There are times in the year where change can work well. The top of a new year, January or whatever, change doesn't seem as big because it just feels like a natural
Yeah.
time to make changes.
Yeah. It's good.
I think you got to get lots of advice, from whatever circle that you have around you and in the ministry. You need to get advice, but you need to make the decision. I think you need to be decisive on your own. And, there are some things that you have to, there are some things that you just are so critical that you have to make a change right away. And there's some things that obviously can wait and you prioritize, like you're saying.
Yep.
But realize that everything you change, every change you make is going to have a cost, a toll. And so because of that, and this is what you've said over years, and I still really haven't learned this, but is that part of it always encouraging, always being positive, just knowing that at some point you're going to ask something from people and that's going to cost. But the other side with that too is that you always, if you're keeping in mind what it is that you want to change and where you want to go, you can plant seeds and always be just dropping little hints and this is where we're going and at some point we need to, and you know, there's ways to start the ball rolling on change without causing a lot of pain right away.
Can I throw in one other thing?
Yeah,
I would
let me
say-
just pause for
Yeah,
a second.
sure.
Hold that thought.
Sure.
Do we need to be concerned about that door being open
And that
to our
noise.
team members? Here's
Very
what's
loud.
it's March and it's like 90 degrees out.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah.
So people are mowing their lawns
Yeah.
middle of the day. It's
Yeah.
just what's
Slower.
happening.
I like
It
it.
just went a little quieter, and I think
Yeah.
for the first time, my wife turned on the air conditioner
That is incredible.
because that was air conditioning.
Happy March.
conditioning.
Yeah.
Happy March in California. I'll just throw one
This
other
would be a
thing.
good time of year to come out for the GYM gathering or whatever we're doing. What is this? Garage?
Youth Ministry Garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's in May. May 18th and 19th. But that'll
Still
even be
warm
a
in
better
May?
time.
Is it,
Yeah.
is it warm
Yeah,
here in May?
it starts like
May
March
showers?
March
Does it
1st.
rain in
It
May?
just becomes incredible.
Shower,
Paradise.
Mayflowers.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Mayflowers
When
bring
something is broken
pilgrims.
and you're about to re-engage with it, do ask yourself this question too. Is it time for it to be done? Can we set it free?
fair.
Can we stop doing this? Youth ministry, so often we add and add and add and add and add, and you're running from spinning plate and trying to keep everything going. And I think when a plate is wobbling or already crashed, it's a great time to go, you know what? For this next
I give
season, for this next season, we're not going to do X, Y, and Z. We're not going to do an event every Friday
Yep,
night.
yep.
We're going to go to once a quarter, or we're going to stop and I don't know what that is exactly, but I think we don't stop anything very well. So when something's kind of wobbling or done, maybe kill it.
Yep.
Great. Like this question. We got to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted
It's not wobbling.
Just
no?
wanted
This is a
to-
good question.
Yeah,
question.
it was a great question. We just we,
Yeah.
we-
I don't know if it was great.
Definitely
No, it was
not.
really great. Ashley, way to go. Hey, what do you have to give away?
I have a downloadable copy of Vivid from our sponsor, Youth Ministry 360.
Man, if it's downloadable, why is it in a
This is just for me to hold up and tell you what you'll be able to download, because I'm going to
Just a
give
visual.
this.
just a it's
Visual
a vivid
aid.
visual?
I'm going to give this to myself. So
right.
thank you.
already have that.
So what is it? What is Vivid?
Where's that
I
going?
don't know. I still got it right here.
What is it?
Is that a magic trick?
Vivid is
6-week
got
Bible
6
study on
lessons,
James?
videos, PowerPoint, the whole bit. It's a 6-lesson study on the book of James.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remembered
So-
that. Pretty good.
Living a vivid
Youth
faith.
Ministry 360 does great things.
It's unbelievable.
Great things. They
But
are.
it doesn't just look good, which
It is good. It looks good. It is good. I was
going
gonna say if you want cheap
But it's good
things,
stuff.
go to Download Youth Ministry. If you want really good things, go to
That's
Youth
right.
Ministry
I
360.
think,
marginal to
I think
average.
our quality is top notch. I think they've got really good quality too.
Yeah.
This
But
is
their
cool.
stuff looks really good.
It is fun. I mean, I love downloading.
I mean, I'm in
those,
charge of our
but
graphic.
it is fun to have like a thing sometimes too.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get
No,
it.
I just-
Youth Ministry 360. Use promo code YMG. Get 10% off too. Whatever you
Oh,
buy.
wow.
That was free. That's not even on here.
Adam
Know
Schweitz
that.
Good job.
from
German.
Tigard, Oregon. I'm sure I've hacked everything.
Yep.
Tigered.
I'm looking for resources to keep up with the current trends in Christian music that kids might actually like. I've been out of the music scene for a while now, and if I listen to what I like, they'd be listening to metal all the time.
Perfect.
So you're talking McGill's
Man,
language.
yeah,
That's right.
I remember when I was in a youth group and they played video loops of new music, but I don't know where to get my hands on anything like that.
Yeah. What would you say?
I'd say Interlink.
Yeah.
Interlink.com, subscribe to it. They send out new Christian music all the
yeah?
time. Yeah, it's actually a youth leaders packet that
cool.
you can get. And you get it 2 or
Downloadable
3
packet.
or 4 times a year, and it has a bunch of new albums and music
Yeah.
and Bible study, everything related to music. Interlink has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's INTERLINC or
Yeah, it ends
just
with the C.
Just Google it. It'll show up.
Yeah.
A couple other things just in passing. YouTube
You
has.
could Bing it probably too.
You could Bing it for sure. YouTube has tons of
It's
Christian
Microsoft
music
search
videos
engine.
on it that you can download, rip, share, make a playlist of, whatever. And iTunes has a top 10 in their Christian category, so actually a top 100. So if you want to see what songs are popular, literally being downloaded in real time,
Yeah.
iTunes top 100 will in the Christian and
That doesn't
spirituality
include the
category.
Zune downloads though.
Yeah, that's correct.
You're right.
It doesn't.
You're right.
Just a couple of ideas.
You're trying to come back, aren't you?
No,
Just one step at a time, bro.
1/3
Get
of the
your
people
feet.
listening to this are laughing right now. I guarantee.
Well,
Because Microsoft humor is really funny.
yeah.
It's very complicated.
I would say 1/3 of the people that you play to are listening.
So
Yeah.
literally
so about
a person.
1/1000th of our crowd. James Hompton
soul.
from Millersburg, Pennsylvania. Oh wait, we just had a Millersburg.
Oh, no way.
Look at this.
Same
Are they
guy?
from the same church?
No, we've got Ship and Dam Road and North Street.
Wow, from Millersbrook, huh?
There we go.
Oh.
First
Got a
off,
network together.
sorry to McGill for getting canned. Glad to see you bounce
too.
back on your feet. And friends, continue to start your questions
Yes.
about some
Years from
comment about Matt being fired, because if you do, there's a
great.
better chance of them being on the show.
There's a better chance you'll win stuff.
I have two quick questions for you. The first is, what have you seen to be most successful in scheduling breaks, holiday, summer, for both large groups and small groups? The second question is, what do you do? Well, let's go to the first one.
Yeah.
Break?
Scheduling breaks like spring break.
Yeah, holidays and
Like
summer.
breaks
We're
from
talking
your
Josh's language.
Ministry
Yeah.
program.
It's my life. I'm the least productive person in youth ministry.
Was that a bounce back?
That was
Yeah,
bounce back.
that was
No, that was
similar.
funny. That actually made me cackle.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I give it a
What made you
6.
cackle the other day with something? What was that?
I don't know.
Text message.
Christmas break, I think slow down. Turn it
I
off.
wasn't ready for it.
And Easter and spring break, crank it up. What a great week. It's awesome. Summer break, crank it up.
You go busier in summer?
Absolutely. I think
thought you
summer
slowed down
ministry
in
is
summer.
so great. No, very different. Different program, different offerings,
right.
but it's great.
So you're taking a break though in the summer from like regular
Small
Yeah.
groups.
kind of regular small groups and
Letting the
stuff, and
houses
doing something a little
recarpet.
bit different.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so a little bit more event stuff in the summer, and then Christmas is a downtime for our youth ministry, but it's a very up time for our church, and so we ride kind of the church. We support that and are a part of that, and don't do a lot of youth group stuff around the holidays.
You guys take a break once a month with worship together? Is that
Yeah,
what they
that's
call it?
true. Worship together weekend once
It's
a
not
month.
really a break. I mean, it's sort of a break, I guess, from our normal.
We don't have
Momentum
youth
killer.
ministry. We don't have youth group once a month because we're all going to church together. So that's been a huge break.
Yeah.
In the momentum.
So
and-
basically, in the summer, shut down small groups
Yeah.
that meet in homes that are
Yeah.
decentralized and meet together in the church. It's a different program, but it gives small group leaders a little bit of time off. It gives the houses a little bit of time
Yeah.
off.
And it fills some of that time that students. I mean, we ramp up some of that program stuff for.
Well, I think
Do you guys do the same thing in junior high?
I think thinking about your volunteers is a piece of this, of when are great break times for your volunteers, and kind of thinking through, excuse me, kind of thinking through when they need time off and when they need breaks,
Yeah.
because we're so dependent on volunteers to run most of the stuff that we're doing. So, you know, thinking about events and small groups and program stuff too, and just kind of like, okay, when can I give? What are the 3 times in the year that I can give my volunteers a great break, or you know, something like that that coincide
Yeah.
with good family time. I think you taught us that too a lot, was to kind of think about when families were breaking together too, and to not always necessarily schedule something on every single time off that we had, so that not spring break, Christmas break, Thanksgiving, like didn't always have youth ministry stuff, because thinking about families too. So I think thinking about families and volunteers in the break too, of you know what works with them and how
That
we
really
can
came into
partner.
play when you wanted to do stuff with your family during those breaks.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm starting into that season right now too.
I think about my family when I'm thinking about the calendar, because I
was
have a
totally
junior
just trying to
hire,
make a
so
joke.
No,
not
I
even
get
being
it. No, I get that, but I kind of am like, oh, it's
I get
President's
it.
Day weekend. Do I want to plan a retreat, or do I want to take a deep breath and then retool?
Well, I'm thinking about those times that, like, okay, yes, this president's break, but
Yes.
because we don't have anything at spring, you know,
Yes,
kind
yes.
of having a balance.
Or instead of spring break being an entire week, what if it is 3 or 4 days of it? So there's a both and there. I mean,
I just
yeah.
think those are 2 important
Good,
groups to
good.
think about when you're thinking about breaks too.
I just think the devil doesn't take a day off. Why would we take one off?
Wow.
Because the devil's not my role model, Matt. That's why. That's why.
You know what I'm talking about.
Darren,
Quoting Doug Fields today is your
Every
today, that's his life is quoting.
Every
only
change,
thing coming out of your mouth.
every
Today?
change is a withdrawal in your
Every
ministry.
change is a withdrawal.
They even look alike.
A weekend program is an understandable message.
We've got the same hair.
I know. So, to our team, let you just know how my heart was wounded once by Katie that I won't tell you about.
Oh, Kate.
But on Instagram, Matt is a picture of Matt over his sister in a hospital bed.
Which, please be praying for my sister.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Have and will.
Yep.
And somebody writes on the Instagram, Matt, you look just like Doug Fields. And that
It was awesome.
that's wounding.
grieved me.
You're like,
I mean, those are some of the greatest moments of my life. Because they're referring to me making some funny face.
oh, the show.
Here we go. Darren Chisholm from Gastonia, North Carolina.
Please don't use my name.
Hey guys, in January, I got fired from my first youth ministry job after 3 years. Man, if this guy got fired,
Yeah.
if you could pay attention.
You're gonna be able to relate
Did
to
you
this
take
guy.
my phone? That was
I got
so
fired
mean.
from my first youth ministry job after 3 years. My wife is pregnant, and due in June, we have a 2-year-old son. We're interviewing different churches, and we're struggling with wanting to be near family or taking a full-time position several hours away. What advice do you have for leaving my current church and deciding on a new church?
Wait, I'm confused. He got
You
fired,
gotta let us
but
know
he's
when
out
there's
of
a
current
serious
church?
question.
They're all serious questions, man.
Well, that's more
question.
serious than. Well, I mean, it's tough. I mean, do you want to get a job at Starbucks and stay near your family, or do you want to get a job doing your ministry and be far away? I mean, and maybe Starbucks is a little bit of a stretch, but maybe not. And that's a question that really. I mean, you can beat
Well, we
that
can't
around with a
we can't
friend.
answer for this
Right.
guy, but let's give our principles, like in deciding. So let me interrupt you, which I've already done. But
No, I
you
love that.
said when you got canned, which sorry,
Yes, thanks.
you
I didn't get canned. My position was terminated.
when you left. For whatever reason that was, you said, if I leave the area, family, friends, the whole bit, I want to move to a 10, a church
Yes.
that's a 10 on a scale of 1
Yeah.
to 10. But if I stay in the area, I wouldn't mind going to a church a season of where I'm considering it a 7.
Right.
And I thought it's an interesting, there's Matt, shoot for the stars, with a 7. No, but I think it is.
But in all seriousness,
absolutely.
I mean,
I didn't want you to move.
Right, and I didn't want to move either. And the cool thing is that I think I landed at a 10. I mean, I think that
That's
really
great.
it's a cool thing. But I knew you were going to give me crap on it. But I can't really. It's amazing.
A 10 for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, no, not for everybody. That's for sure. But that was the.
I'm listening.
No, but I mean the
totally get
writing.
it, but I like
the
it.
This is a great podcast. This is going to go down as one of the best.
Yeah. With 4 edits so far.
Yeah. This will be my 4th edit.
I'll just say something
let's
else
go.
that we'll have to edit it as long as we're editing.
Yeah, so when it became clear that I wasn't fitting at Mariners, or they weren't fitting with me, I wasn't fitting with them, whatever you want to look at that, is that to me it's like I had to go, okay, what are my criteria going to be as I move forward? And so I looked at my passions and my skills and what have I done in the past and what do I like to do? What am I good at? So you take an inventory of who I took an inventory of who I am, and then thought about, okay, what kind of positions could I go for and really work with. And then I thought, I really value this, our friends and community, and we got deep roots, but at the same time I wasn't going to stay here at all costs. I mean, I feel like I felt a strong sense of calling to ministry when I was in 8th grade, and I feel like that's been the trajectory my life has been on the whole time. I'm not going to sacrifice my kids and my marriage, and I'm not that driven or whatever you want to call that. I'm not that, but at the same time I'm not going to kick back and stay comfortable and give in on principles that that I have, McGill principles that are probably crazy when we get to heaven, but so that was just kind of some of my thinking.
Yeah, it's good.
Are those principles written down somewhere?
It's a good question.
Nobody knows the principles but him, which is a little bit of a difficulty.
I would say you have to know
I've got a journal I've read every day or a couple times a week since.
I would say you have to know your distance tolerance. So if it's 3 hours, then you draw a circle around your family, and that is your search. And if not, if you can't,
Very practical. It's helpful.
it is. I honestly think 5 hours is a really healthy, good, doable distance. So if you're like, oh man, it's 5 hours away,
Yeah.
I don't think that's terrible. That is a weekend. That is
For you.
For me, I'd
Yeah.
say
Yeah,
5
yeah,
hours
yeah,
is a very reasonable distance. Now, I happen to live 11 hours from my mom and dad, 21 hours from my wife's family. So our distance tolerance is obviously extremely high. And I'm not saying by any means that's for everyone. And I think in different seasons, your tolerance can change too.
Yeah.
When you have new grandkids or little kids, toddlers, man, to be with family is so big.
Yeah.
How we're wired factors into
For
that.
some. Again, for
Yeah,
some.
yeah.
Because
See, yeah.
there is a piece of this guy going, or anybody going, you know what, Jesus, take me wherever you want.
Totally.
I'll go wherever you want me to go.
Love it.
And then there's other people that say, Jesus, I feel so called to my family
Right.
that I'm called to my family, and if ministry is
And the-
bivocational or I'm a volunteer
Yeah.
or something, I mean, at some point you got to go,
Totally.
what am I called to?
Right.
You know, and am I called
Right.
to, I mean, obviously, you know, your family is before your ministry, but some people are more willing to go, you know, anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I
Love
think
it.
it's a good thing that you said of just doing a self-assessment, you know, of really sitting down and thinking about your calling and your passions and,
Yeah.
you know, and allow God to lead you through that. Because you might not be able to do it, you know, to do
Right.
ministry, you know, if that's really how you're wired and what God wants for you, then you got to go find it.
And you make a decision and you decide in a year to change, then that's okay too.
Totally.
I mean, we
you don't
know-
have to make the next decision doesn't have to be a decision for the rest of your life. It
Yeah.
can be just for the next season, and that's okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have a friend that they moved back east to be with, you know, the parents. One family lives here and the other family lives there. It wasn't ministry related, but they moved, and we were literally there for 8 months, and you know, decided to move back.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I know people like that as well.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do this. Why don't we see if we could get him free. We're just going to say we're going to get him free at the Refuel Retreat.
Oh.
And Darren needs to get his way out. Darren, you get your way out there, and I'll get the Leader Treks
Oh, yeah.
people to comp you.
What a-
And if they don't comp you, then
Leader
Katie and I will
Treks,
pay
they've
for
got
you.
this cool thing called the Refuel Retreat. It's in Keystone, Colorado. The dates being April 17th and 19th through the 19th.
Not the 18th. You gotta go home.
You gotta go
So you
home.
guys
You
watch.
gotta go refuel yourself. on the 18th.
That's right. That's right. It's very cheap. Anyhow, there you go.
All right.
That's it. Get away.
And so
learn,
get on
relax, refresh.
refuelretreat.com.
Yeah,
is
get on their
all the
website, and they do
information.
this a couple times a year. So if Darren can't go this time,
Maybe the
Yeah.
one in the
then
fall.
go the next time. And that'll be Leader Trek's gift to you.
Or just pay $19 and come to the FAM conference.
Seth can.
I actually thought you were going to give away one of our Youth Ministry Garage hang things that we were just. I thought you were going to say, "Come to the FAM conference and come to our house." But I like it. The Leader Treks.
Yeah, Katie said that's only $19.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll be better for you anyway.
No, that'd be way better. What a gift that would be.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I know.
It's priced to be affordable and offer you the opportunity to bring a spouse along.
That's good.
that's
good.
cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of training, why don't
It's
you do
all about
yours?
you.
Our primary sponsor. Our primary sponsor.
Primary.
Yep.
Which
Powered by.
probably means we should lead with theirs.
I thought about
Seth,
that, but I
if
didn't
you were really the
wanna-
executive producer of this
Yeah.
No,
thing.
you either want it to lead or be the last one. It's one of those
Oh,
two.
do you
it's-
want me to wait?
Yeah, it could be the last one.
Well, I've
Let's
already
do it again at the end.
Yes.
Good save.
The
till
YSN
not true.
conference. It's a free
totally true.
event. YSUnconference.com.
And you're taking your
next
team.
week, next Thursday, we'll be in LA.
You're taking your team
That's
to that
where you find the
and to FAM,
locations, right?
and to Catalyst,
YSUnconference.com.
Leaders are learners, bro.
and the Leader
It
Treks.
doesn't flow off the tongue. So.
What's that? What doesn't?
YSUnconference.com.
YSN conference.
My son.
YSUnconference.com. What makes it an unconference?
It's not a conference.
They're just trying to be
There it
trendy.
is.
Got
What
you.
is it?
I haven't been yet. I've been hearing great
It
things
sounds
about
like
him.
it's a lot of great conversation versus like seminars and stuff.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Just talk and shop with your peeps,
Conversations.
Matt. That's what it is.
Yep. Vincent
Why
Delgado
don't I just
from
go to a coffee
DeSoto,
shop?
Texas says, I'm single, but I have a huge heart
You're
for
right.
young adults. Being a college student myself and youth pastor, I see the great need to reach our young adults. I don't have the experience of several issues such as marriage and finances. Is it possible to lead young adults while being single? If so, how?
Is that like college aged or like young adults?
Yeah, what
like,
is young people?
20 to 30.
When people say young people, who are they referring to?
Well,
He's saying young adults.
So
Is that
it's
young
like
adults.
25, 24, 25?
Yeah, I'm saying 21 up.
Whoever reads Stephanie Meyer, because that's the section in the bookstore.
the young adult section.
Young adult section.
Young adult fiction.
Who reads
Twilight?
Who reads that?
That's adolescence.
Yeah,
Adolescents.
now
See?
it's 14-year-olds.
Yeah, seriously.
There you go.
I would say you always have the Bible as your authority, and there's a ton of principles in there about marriage and things that you don't have experience with, so you
Yeah.
could certainly draw as that foundationally. And I think use the people that are in your network, that are in your community, that are in your church.
Hey, speaking of marriage and not having experience with that, we haven't even acknowledged there's a new pope. Do we need to talk about that?
Nope.
So random.
There
that
is.
random?
I haven't seen the white smoke yet.
You haven't? Oh, came out after 2 days.
Thank you.
Francis.
You could just put a conclave on it then.
I had white smoke humor at APU today, Mike.
Did it
You
work?
did.
Yeah, half of them laughed. Some of them.
Some of the Baptists were like,
You know what? When you're teaching college students, I think some of my humor is a little. I mean, a lot of them laugh, but some of them are looking at me like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's the remedial ones.
well, when you're talking about record
At
players,
Azusa,
they're like, I don't know.
yeah, 8-track tape.
You mean the app? that-
Vincent, I think what we're saying is yes, you can lead. Somewhere in the Bible, 1st or 2nd Timothy, let no one despise your youth.
Yep.
1
3:12?
Timothy. 1
3:15?
Timothy.
That's study to show yourself. 5-2. I read this one. I'm just throwing out numbers, so move on.
So anyway, let no one just. Yes, you can be young. You need to surround yourself with wisdom. You need to surround yourself with other people. You don't need to do all the teaching as it relates to marriage and finances and some of those things you don't have experience with. Just say, hey, I don't have experience with this, so I asked this really old 26-year-old to come in and talk about
Find a great
finances.
married couple who wants to
Yeah.
serve in your ministry.
Absolutely.
Find somebody who's
Be
financially
creative too. It
genius.
doesn't always have to be a talking head. Like have a panel and text in questions
Sure.
and testimonies.
Or
and
just fake it till you make it.
here's how you have a great marriage, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Kill you on that one?
Or you could go to remedylive.com/issues and find some curriculum on depression, eating disorders, or pornography. It would serve as a
segue.
great small group discussion. You
They
could
have
also
a whole young
text.
adult section on their website.
They do. You could text YMG to 313131, and one lucky youth worker will win a Remedy Live T-shirt and $10 gift cards. Does anybody ever do that, Seth? Do you
Yeah.
even
How?
know?
Yeah.
Is it once a year? We just
Whenever we remember to do it.
Yeah.
They all
then they.
pull
Oh wow.
They all get one?
No.
They pull a number.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't won yet.
Well,
I
every time
enter
we do
every
the
time.
announcement.
That curriculum's really great. Been watching it.
Have you been watching it?
Yep. It's
That's
really good
good.
stuff.
Dude, I need to see if getting that into our small group leaders' hands would be helpful, because we've had just a
Deluge.
string of really
Deluge?
serious
Yeah. You
issues
could say
coming out in our
deluge.
small groups right now. It is.
Yeah.
We had a huge one today that was so frustrating.
What was it about?
Ugh. Not those particular issues, but it was a parent leader issue that was rough.
A parent who is a leader, or an
parent-
issue between a parent and a leader.
An issue from between a parent and a volunteer leader, and
I
it
know
was
that
not
too.
good.
Volunteers wrong. Just kidding. I said volunteers wrong. Just kidding.
Honestly, I think they were both a little bit wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say
I
it.
don't know anything about the situation, so just kidding.
Hasn't kept you from commenting before.
That's right.
Levi Heron for Jefferson City, Missouri. Our student ministry has recently grown larger this year. On Wednesday nights, our Wednesday nights consist of both middle school and high school together for games, worship, lesson. Then we break into small groups.
Is worship the singing part?
Yeah. We have reached over 120 students and are running out of rooms for small groups and sponsors to lead them. Just wondering where to go and what to do. Thought of splitting and doing different nights. Thought of doing away with small groups as well, but I know the importance of small groups. Any suggestions?
Nothing better than a packed house. Love it. Overflowing, people sitting on top. Oh, it's awesome. I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, I would probably work really hard to make sure that I don't have to get rid of my small groups. I would ask some parents that I really thought were great with kids to say, would you come alongside and go through our process of becoming a volunteer and lead a small group to get us through the school year, give them a few months in, and chances are those parents would maybe go, oh, this was easier than I thought, or better than I thought, or more rewarding than I thought, and join you. But I think that you can always find places to put small groups on your church property. You just have to be creative, whether it's
Janitor's closet.
There you go.
Baptismal.
Did you want to say one time?
Don't do away with small groups. I mean,
Don't.
is
Yeah.
Well, is
I
there any
think
way to
part of
decentralize
that-
it as well? Take it
Yeah.
off the church property if you have to.
I think some of
tell you
that
what,
growth
small
is
groups are a
probably
big
being
deal.
contributed to from small groups and the relationships being formed and stuff. And
That's
I think
good, Katie.
you're going to continue to grow probably. So I think that's something to think about. If small groups remain strong and those relationships, I think it's going to probably explode more. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we always have to, as leaders, we have to be ready to scale. So anytime you make a decision that we're going to go to small groups, or we're going to move our Wednesday night, or we're going to break up junior high and high school on different nights, I think it's responsible for us to pull back and say, okay, let's
What happens if it's successful?
Yeah.
let's go.
What happens if it explodes?
Maybe we're not ready to change, because if it does explode, we're going to be, then we have to reinvent something. So can we do stuff that will scale to a larger number is an important question to ask. But
Yep.
I mean, it's a fun problem to have. Surf that wave while it's coming.
that
If you
wave.
do need to break into middle school and high school on different nights, that is a major decision.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
major
a big
decision for
change.
you as the primary leader. It puts
For
you out another
families.
night of the week, and you may be in a position where you can do that. It would create space in your room for your room to grow, but you're going to have to double the number of leaders that you have. I'd get commitments ahead of time for
I
that.
wonder if you split, but you kind of did an overlap thing where you did middle school small groups first, then you did overlap large, and then did high school small groups
Oh, yeah.
after.
cool.
Maybe did a little overlap thing. So
180
you've
Church
got,
on the Move does that.
do they?
They used to.
So you've got kind of a split happening, but then you've got good overlap time. I don't think
think they
it matters
did that.
for middle school if you do them before or after.
Yeah.
You probably get a
Yeah.
similar response. So
Well, and high school students staying out later if it's an evening program,
Totally.
easy,
Yeah.
That's
total
good.
in.
That's
you
a
have a
good-
little trouble if
with
you have
parents,
junior high and high school.
junior
in
high and
the
high
same
school, there's definitely
ministry.
some things to think through, but.
But maybe the trade-off's totally worth it.
And maybe some of the high school students could come and lead middle school small groups beforehand.
That's cool.
Now you're
Man,
talking.
Large group.
I want her. I would
high
love to
school.
work in
So
a
you
church.
kind of
Good stuff.
utilize
That's good stuff.
the serving angle there.
I think if you do make a change that's a drastic, either to a different night or decentralized or something of that nature, numbers will go down. And don't let that discourage you. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
It's the dip.
be ready for that, because
Every change has a cost.
every change has a cost,
I heard
and
that
every
somewhere.
rose has a thorn.
Oh, speaking of heavy metal,
That's right. That's more like glam rock,
yeah, that's about the heaviest metal I've ever listened to. I'm a
which is
Christian.
really sad.
And homeschool. Were you allowed to listen to secular
Poison.
music?
No, never.
Did I ever tell
No,
you
no,
I had
no.
Thanksgiving dinner with Poison?
You did not.
I did. It was 6 months before they were big. I had just burnt my house down in 8th grade.
Love that.
And
Mom's still alive at
Thanksgiving.
this point.
No.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Close
dude.
though. No, and so we were having Thanksgiving with my dad's ex-stepwife, who had a younger daughter that was dating Bret Michaels, and he came over.
That is not real.
I'm totally serious. And these guys, yeah.
Yeah,
But it was
that's
so
funny.
funny
Yeah, it
because
could
it was
be anybody.
Bret Michaels and like the drummer, I can't remember who's the name was.
Slash.
But these guys came in and they were like total long hair, freaks. You're like, who are these guys? And they came, basically opened a bag and said, we're huge in Tokyo, and poured out all these magazines that had Poison in Tokyo. I'm like, who are these guys?
That is awesome.
And then 6 months later, every rose has a thorn.
That's
Wow.
awesome, dude. Incredible.
I'm not sure I've ever heard that
How could we
story,
have
and I
never
feel
heard
like
that
I've heard
story?
every one of your stories
3 times.
three
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was Yeah,
That's incredible.
And actually, I say Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving dinner. So
Wow.
With poison.
with poison, 2 out of the 4 poisons. So it wasn't all 4.
What are you doing
It
this
was
Thanksgiving?
It was
Half a
It was
poison.
half a poison.
One Direction's coming over. Hey guys, Thanksgiving dinner.
Keisha Gordon from War Acres, Oklahoma. I've been the youth pastor of a small church for 3 years. The church is 4 years old, and since the church has begun, the youth have met in the sanctuary on Wednesday nights, and the adults have small groups in other places, homes, etc. Last May, we were given a 25 by 50 foot building.
Okay.
So
Like
maybe a little
garage.
bigger than our
So
garage.
it's a rectangle.
Nice, Matt. As we've been remodeling the
I've been
church.
helping Max and Mark with math lately.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Are
good.
they passing?
Wow! Nicely done. Wow! Hey, but let's pause for this one, Katie.
That was good.
You know I don't make fun of you very often, but your daughter spelled Jesus wrong.
Lisa's.
Lisa.
Backwards J.
Backwards.
I know. No,
Job,
that's not
Lisa.
Backwards J is a backwards
Well, in
J.
her heart, it was right.
Yeah.
That's all that
In
matters.
reading, it was not great.
Yeah.
It was a little
That's not what the Calvinists would say, but whatever.
No,
And
that's
her-
not a spelling
and
error.
her-
Backwards J
Her
is not.
dad's a teacher.
Yeah.
Only to 4th grade, though. We only go to 4th grade in our house.
Are you smarter than a 4th grade? Actually, no.
Nope.
That's
Nope,
where
we're
it
not.
is right there.
4th
Smarter
grade.
than a 5th grader.
Okay, our plan has been to use this room as a youth building, but funds and time have been limited to work on it. Since September, we have more than doubled our Wednesday night attendance from 7 to 20.
A lot of numbers in these emails.
And should be able to use our new building by April. My fear is that we will stop growing because our space will be half of what we've been in the church sanctuary. How do I beat the numbers game before we hit a bump in the growth? I've thought about splitting, but we don't have a happy medium. We have a 5th and 6th grade through 8th grade, we have 5, 6th through 8th grade, 10 in 9th grade, and 5, 10 through 12th grade. Please, all caps, give suggestions on how I could best use this free space and not miss out on the growth spurt that I am having.
See the question before. So we just answered this one, right? Different?
I think this
What did we talk about before?
space question.
Spelling.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because the dynamics of there is a perceived momentum in numbers.
Oh, yeah, space
and
question.
if you split this one up and you've got 5 kids in 6th through 8th grade, you're changing the dynamics of what they're experiencing
Definitely.
on that Wednesday
Totally.
night. Because then there's another. It looks like.
So the space they're moving into is smaller, she said?
Yeah, half
Yeah.
the size of the.
Well, the principle of space is the more crowded, the
Crawl when
better.
they come.
Yeah.
So even in a sanctuary, if you have the opportunity to meet in a sanctuary and you have enough kids to sit on stage, I'd sit them on the stage and put couches around the stage. So to me, I think, I'm looking at this garage and going, okay, if this garage is the size of your we could get we're inviting 50 people
Yeah,
to come
exactly.
sit in here and it's messy. If this thing was clean, which
Oh, it'd be fun.
hopefully
The
Josh
energy.
will do before May.
Where is she from?
War Acres, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next to the Tulsa.
Yeah. So I think my feeling, Keisha, not seeing the place is you got plenty of room, and I would jam as
But
many
maybe
people.
she does games and stuff like that. Moves
Maybe
people
there's
around,
other spaces.
you
That's
know.
why I asked where she was from. Is there other spaces that maybe you can utilize for game time or something like that? Like maybe your room is the couches for kind of the teaching time or the small group time or whatever that is. And then if there's a patio or some some
Yeah,
outdoor
yeah.
space when the weather's nice or whatever to do some of the more active stuff.
Yeah.
Could be cool.
That's good. Katie, if we were given prizes for most valuable podcast person, you'd
Oh,
get
yeah.
it today.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd get it most time,
Thank you.
but I just thought, here,
It's awesome.
helping teenagers in crisis from Youth Specialties.
Thank
you can have
you.
that. Must-haves of leading students from Leader Tracks.
Thanks.
You can have that.
Thank you.
And Vivid from Youth Ministry 360 you can have.
Oh,
and you know what?
Just had a copy of that myself.
I want to invite you to Youth Specialties Unconference.
Unconference.
Yeah, it's next Thursday, but there's 12 of them happening around the country. So
Way
go to
different than hanging out at Starbucks.
unconference.com. Yeah, it is different because
You got something like
Oh, you
that.
have a little.
There you go.
You got it.
So do you, Matt, right here. Seriously.
Right here.
yeah. All right. I love you guys.
Front.
Wait, that's
Great
it.
to be with you. Yeah, we're over our 40-minute time limit.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah.
Great
I
hanging
gotta get out
out.
of here. I got things to do.
Good
This
to
was
see
a
you.
particularly rambling,
Know
edited
you.
show.
Are we really going to edit that?
We
part?
need to talk about editing afterwards.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of which,
Look, I can't be expected to know the demographics of all diseases.
I'm glad that was
For
on
the win.
here.
Yeah.
That was a great
that should be the title of the show. But here, wait, before you shut up, we've been talking about going live. What do we need to
Oh.
go live?
We need
Internet?
$1,000. We need to move it out of this garage.
The internet, we
Easter.
have it,
No.
don't we?
Huh?
Easter. All
Speed.
churches
He
do
means
good things on
speed.
Easter. They launch stuff on Easter. So Easter Sunday, we will rise again.
What would an internet cost us
Could
here?
be
I
live
just
from
got
the
up a little
firehouse.
bit, maybe talk to our awesome sponsors. So we can chip in a little bit. Won't be much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go to Fiber Channel or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's make that happen. I want to do live because I want to
You
get
just
phone
lived
calls.
in Oklahoma where they got
Do
Google
live.
Fiber.
phone
Skype calls on our
Rob
flat
likes
screen.
to
Yeah.
type in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Faxes
I
and
think
stuff.
when we get to show 225, we need to have a whole new. I think table. I think we need to.
Wow.
Yeah, it's time
Class
to.
it up a
felt-
bit.
It's time to reinvent ourselves a little bit. I mean, stay in the garage, but let's reinvent ourselves.
The live show, we
Seth
should have a
just
fax
puffed out
machine,
his
so people
chest a
can
little.
fax us whatever they want.
Funny.
Fax us on the live show.
Wait,
Then
what?
We have a dedicated fax line. If you're a
Fax line.
subscriber to the live show, you
Yeah.
can fax in
Hey,
whatever you.
do you need to
Facts of life?
do you need to do like Kickstarter and
I don't know.
make an internet
Yeah.
live
We can
show?
do one.
Yeah, because I want to go live.
50 people that come, we can hit them up with
Take a donation.
Love
All right,
offering.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Charge them $29 instead of 19.
There you go.
There you
It's
go.
19 bucks. What a steal.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
steal.
I don't even know.
$1 an hour.
Bucks.
It's less than $1 an hour.
It's less than
That's
$1 an
that's the
hour.
byline. Okay,
That's cheap.
you guys are the best.
You guys are cheap.
guys are
Cheap
wonderful.
date.
Sorry about that.
And
Okay.
yeah, sorry for
Bye, friends.
I'm not sorry for me at all. That's right.